Hey, I'm Nelson with Montana Specialty Cabins. In this video that we are showing you right now, this restoration project that we had, got a phone call from the homeowners that said that they have a deck that is just falling apart. There was rot in the logs going into it and the bones of it, not just the deck boards, but the actual bones. Actually, a typical call we get, because we do restoration as well as these beautiful cabins. Made an appointment with them. They scheduled a consultation for me to come out and take a look at it. We came and took a look at the project, detailed it out as far as what rot needs to be replaced. I sent them a tap inspection report on everything that we had taken and give them a price on what it would cost to go ahead and get that replaced. We ended up simply doing just the log work. Her son was a very capable man. He came on board, took the railing all off, took the deck boards all off, opened everything up. It made it very simple for us to come up there, drop the logs in place, and remove the rotten logs and drop the new ones in place and get that going. So that made it very easy for us. But it was a fun project. It was a really interesting project. I love doing things that are a little bit outside the box. Thanks for watching the video. Have fun, get some popcorn, and join us for the ride. We're gonna have a blast. Okay, so here we have got ourselves a project, a fun project. This here is really a fun project for us, but it's sad because it could have been avoided. You can see these logs rotted out. We have the water coming down. All this is snow falling on here year after year after year and just rotting this whole thing down. If I can stay on here, if you see, that just completely rotted out. And also this is, so one thing about pine is it rots faster than red fir or cedar. So this is something that could have been avoided to a little bit better is by using red fir. The question always comes to me is like, why did this log not rot out and that one rotted out? That's the difference. You know, you see the difference here. And a lot of it is to do with how dead was the log already before, or how porous was it. So even the same species of wood, one will rot out a whole lot more than the other. And it's just to do with the wood and how it was raised and where it was at. So some of that is just unavoidable in that circumstance, in my experience, okay? So, that being said, you can see this cross beam right here, that's just completely rotted out. So we're actually taking up all 4 of these long logs, taking them up. Then we'll have to replace all 5 of these members here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that hold it up. And that long beam right there. So if you see that long post right there on I say post, it's that purlin, that is going to go right across there. So we'll restripe all of it. All of this section is going to be brand new then coming across here. Anyway, so this is exciting. It's going to be a fun process. One thing I love about the restoration work, log home restoration, is you get to see a lot of different kinds of applications. So for instance, you get to see some really amazing pieces of work, like artwork, and then you get to see some pretty ugly stuff where it just wasn't done right, and you can see it. It's right there, bald, staring you in the face, saying the way you applied that log to that deck or how you did that, it just didn't work. So you see the failures, and you see the wins, you see the positive things. So therefore your vocabulary of the log world just becomes greater, and I appreciate that because I love learning. I love learning new things. I will never stop learning. 38 inches. The difficult part of figuring out how to scribe a piece like this in on top of this log when you already have to put it inside that hole. So now that hole's lower, or it's in the position where it needs to be, and this guy is not. Now it's going to sit on an angle, and you put your double bubble scribe to it, it's going to be tight here and loose here, because it's going to be sitting angled, crooked, so we can't have that. So in order to fix that, you get it as low as you can, within an inch, by what you call eyeballing it. And so you measure it, you figure out how close you can get within an inch, and you throw it in there, slide it in there. Within an inch, you can get it down. I mean, you can't slide a credit card in between it after you're done with it. Beautiful. Fun, guys. This is going to be a lot of fun. So basically, we'll take our chainsaw in here, we'll cut this off, and then we'll notch it. We'll break it out, the notch that's in here, and then we'll bring the next one, notch the other one, and slide it right in the same hole. When it's done, it'll look exactly like it's always built this way. Like it won't be looking like it's a fix or an add-on. So from a very young age, I worked with my dad with it. My dad still builds log homes. My brother's builds homes. It's in the family. So I look at this as maybe somebody would look at changing oil in a car, similar, or you know, so something like it's, you know, it's something that's, yeah, it's no problem. It's gonna be no problem to do this. So, yeah. Rotten logs were so bad that they had propped up some logs underneath it with another piece, and the deck boards were literally holding it in place. And like the next snowstorm would have come down. Taking those rotten logs out, what we ended up doing is we took the machine, as you can see, and just picked it up and cut it. Well, then as you notice, that one that fell off, I had thought it was together a whole lot more. Man, when I was watching that thing go, I was afraid we're gonna have to replace a window, but thankfully we did not. It came down and it came right next to that window, but I was thinking it was held together a whole lot better than what it was. But no, it was rotten. It was definitely time to change. Douglas fir, it's a very hard wood, and it rots slowly, like it rots from the outside in. Spruce tends to rot from the inside out, but Douglas fir is a very good product to put on a deck. It's structural strength to beat all structural strength. It's the best in the market, in the Northwest for sure. I told him I got the perfect log for you. I got this log in, it's dry as a bone, it is ready. Now we notched it, so we're gonna put it on those two posts right here. The idea is we have to scribe the other logs, the 5 logs that are coming out. So right now we're going for the eyeball, because we got the transept, we leveled everything in, and it's just really hard to know exactly where it's at, being the deck is 1.5 inches off from this side to this side. I always keep a variety of logs in the yard just for this situation. Went out to the log yard, found this perfect log, and it had now this arch. If you remember seeing it in the video, or see it in the video, it has this arch. So you see that nice arch in there? The arch in here is gonna make my husband, but it's gonna make, so this guy is gonna get scribed out a little bit deeper here. That's quite the beauty right there, I'm telling you. Perfect for what it needs to be, because I need to turn that arch up to give a little bit more room to go into the basement, to have a walkout basement. We just give that little bit more room. So I turned the arch up, I scribed it onto the posts. Two lines cut. There's a big spike coming right through the center here, so I just cut both sides of the spike. And now I'm gonna knock this out. There it is. This notch. That's what that big log was on here. Now we're just gonna go ahead and profile the other end, make a tendon, drop it right into that notch, put big old log ball screws in here. This guy was cut off with a sawzall. Then the top logs, scribing the top logs down on top of that, I had to take out a little bit more out of those logs to get it to fit, but that wasn't a problem. It ended up working out perfect for what we need to make that work. right, guys, so here we are. This is day 2. It's about noon now. We got here yesterday about noon. We got the old stuff removed. We got the new one scribed in, notched into place, and we had one more log down the end, and we brought a log for it. It's right here. And the difference is, what we decided to do is that this log just won't work. It dried out some more since it's been up here, and I should have called it right in the yard, but this log is not going to work. I just can't feel good about putting this log in here. So we're going to go ahead and grab another log. And then on the other hand is, we got all the purlins that go on top of this that put the deck in. These purlins are over here, and these purlins are all prescribed and everything. I don't care how close I match the logs, but they're off. There's big holes, there's gaps, it just literally will not work to put these back. And also the purlins are twisted. This spiral grain right here, this log is twisted a whole 2 inches from the flat, and I can't cut it because it's so full of nails. I'm gonna just destroy it by the time I'm done with it. We're gonna go ahead, do the right thing. We could just use this and just say, hey, tough luck, that's what it's gonna be, but we're gonna go ahead and replace these logs. Every one of them, they're 38 feet long, and we're gonna scribe them down over top of those, and that way we can get it exactly to the 1/8 inch when we scribe that everything down exactly where it's at, so that deck can be perfectly level and it can be all done out of Douglas Fir. So then that way it won't rot. It won't rot for a long time. So next time, we're gonna be back here next week. The 38-foot purlins we placed on top of the larger carriers that carried the purlins, those we came back to the yard to get because the other logs just did not work.
All right, we got the first row chiseled. Colton's chiseling that row. We're gonna go ahead and get her knocked right out of the park here. We are back on this beautiful site here. It's amazing, really high mountain, and boy, it is chilly. It's 48 degrees this morning. We left here in Montana, and it was like 65. We got here to Anaconda, it was 48. Unbelievable. So what I'm doing here is I set up a line level, which is there. Is a line level thing. It's basically it shoots out a green light, and we have a perfect level. So what I'm doing is I'm putting my scribe up to basically taking this guy and finding out where my line level is, and then taking this out to whatever depth it needs to be. So you can see my line. Boy, camera doesn't like picking it up there, does it? There it is. You see the line there. So basically I put a line right down to the 1/8 inch. So this deck is gonna be pretty much down to the 1/8 inch accurate by the time I get all those scribes put in. So I got them all scribed. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting the scribes.
I love learning. I love learning new things. I will never stop learning. And that's why I love when you guys comment, and I love your ideas. I love what you're talking about. You guys have some great ideas, and you guys are an inspiration to us. So keep watching the videos, keep subscribing and commenting. You guys have a wealth in information that's out there. And I appreciate you guys when you comment and share. So stay with us. We're going to do a lot of fun things.